Morning, Fetty. How are you? Or I think it's afternoon or evening for you, but yeah. I had to run downstairs. I'm still working on getting the timing of my coffee right. Let me get the word out a little bit. Post it around that I've started. Okay. That goes there. You go there. Yeah, they do. They look really interesting. I haven't done really anything with them. I wanted to do it on stream so I can get like my actual reaction Sunday night. It is Sunday morning for me, so you live in the future. Although it's never a bad time for coffee. So, but yeah, we have some really interesting switches to look at today. The egg yolks, which are these, were sent to me by Unikeys, but just to take a look at and give my honest review and extras so that I could give some away. So this is mine. Keeping 90 for myself, and then I will be giving 1 pack away to a lucky US resident today, and then I will be giving the other 2 packs of 70 away at our next meetup, which is in Erie, Colorado on the 26th of July. But for those of you who haven't seen it, essentially it uses a different plastic for the stem than it does for the top, the bottom, or not for the stem, for the center post, which they called the mast, than they do for the bottom, the top, or the stem. So seems interesting, and I think that it will go well in the ASCII-F. Currently I have B-Sun milk tea Siams in there, which we'll see in a second. But the other switches that we have to look at, these are not sponsored. I bought these myself. And these are the OwLabs London Fog switches. These are the V2, and the V2 are a collaboration with OwLabs and HMX. And we'll find a board to drop those in and take a look. I think I was gonna do the Polygon 7. And then finally, an icon. These are Panda switches. These are true halo switches. When you take the stem of the true halo and you put it into the Panda, you get one of the most iconic tactile switches ever made. You get the Holy Panda. So we'll be making some Holy Pandas and trying them out. And I am trying to decide what I wanted to start with. Oh. Okay, I'll start with the Holy Pandas. Hold on one second. I gotta go grab a thing. I will be right back. All right. And we're back. All right, so let's make some pandas. So these have never been opened before. So why do you call them roided pandas? Because they're just that good. So here are the two components individually before we start. And feel-wise, it's kind of interesting. Now, unfortunately, I don't know where I put my wing opener. Oh, right, because you put 100. Yes, that makes perfect sense. I don't know why. I don't know why I needed that explanation. All right. So I tend to use a thin flat head, come in at an angle, and you Angle up. Come on. And do the same thing to the other side. And that gets us access to our stem. So we only need to do this 110 times. I can't find my wing opener, so I have my Gateron, which will open the post switches like that. But I can't find my wing opener to open the kale switches. And then we put it back together like that. And you now have a Holy Panda. Now, the instructional videos that I saw, which granted were from years ago because, you know, that's when people started making them. It did not mention lubing them, so I will not be lubing these switches or filming them. Yep, old school Franken switching at its finest. Well, potentially at its finest. I guess we'll see. Stem. We're just going to set everything else off to the side, I guess. And I'm guessing that's going to happen a bunch. Right? I'm just going to take off my glasses at this point because I have to be able to see. For this work, I can actually see better without my glasses than with my glasses. I'm just going to set that right there on top so everybody can see what I'm doing, what the goal is, how the bread is buttered. I don't know. That last one just had nothing to do with anything. Room for me. I should do a poll. How many times am I going to stab myself with a sharpened screwdriver? Right. Actually, before I get too far into this, just so that we can get that part done and running. Glasses. Glue them on my head. Okay. I did want to start that. That was the giveaway. So anybody who wants to enter in the giveaway can do so. Continental US only, please. It's only because I cannot ship out of the country. Stupid Trump. And not really even that. Stupid tariffs. Stupid customs. Stupid something. Let's see, how many do I have so far? Maybe I'll just do enough to do a board. There's 5. Because I know this is riveting content, but still. Okay, I have 20 so far. Need to drink coffee. Oh, and today's coffee is the Geek Grind Molten Moonrise. Molten chocolate mocha flavored coffee. Geek Grind Coffee Company. They are all we use, except for the coffee with chicory. That's 20, so let's do them in packs so that I know how many I've got. Make sure I have enough room to make a bunch of switches. Why does Divinity sell their switches in packs of 18? It seems a little silly. Why 18? Why a spoon, brother? Because it's still, it'll hurt more. Ooh, I know. Will do. And 3, 6, 9, exactly what I thought I had there. So we're up to 30. Our goal is 65. Because we'll go ahead and put Holy Pandas in a key cult. Because why not? Key cult 0. So we'll rebuild 2, maybe 3 keyboards today. one here? No. Okay, good. So now we're third one. So yeah, this is one of the original popular Franken switches. The Holy Panda was developed by a person whose handle online is TopClack. By combining the Invir Panda switches with the Kale True Halo stems, which is what we are harvesting right now. They were so expensive, and kind of still are if you are looking for them, because basically you're, for every switch you're buying two, which makes sense. One of the few mass-produced Franken switches. And then later on, Drop and Glorious, and a few other companies made their own variants. Oh, not the stem. Don't lose the stem. I don't want to lose anything, but definitely don't lose the stem. Oh, thanks for the follow, Alan. How are you doing today? I am chatting about the original Holy Pandas while we make some. The way they used to do in the olden days. The olden days of, what, 2018? Imagine it actually has to be even earlier than that, because I know I was buying Red Dragon Crystal Pandas in 2020, 2021. We are. I was able to get a hold of, through a donation by a local keyboarder who was getting out of the hobby, the components. Hey, there's my first stab with my screwdriver. He just had the makings of Holy Pandas. So he had the Invir Panda switches, like the actual Invir Panda switches, not the Trash Pandas or something like that. As well as the True Halo, the Kale True Halo switches. And so I'm like, you know, I love switches. So I love switches. It's one of the things that I really enjoy about the hobby, is trying different switches and keyboards. And that's 40. Which is why I have so gosh darn many switches. And I've tried, like I said, way back in the day, I tried the Crystal Panda switches by Red Dragon. They sent them to me in like I had a faulty keyboard and they sent a replacement, and in it they put a single pack of Crystal Pandas. And I was like, wow, these are really nice. Having known nothing about Holy Pandas or anything like that at the time. And then I bought more. And funny, I have since sold them all. Because I wasn't using them as much because they are tactiles and I tend towards linear. And I had a friend who I sold the keyboard to, and they love tactiles. And so I included them. I built it out with that. And then recently I had the opportunity to pick up some of the Glorious Pandas. And I tried those. They were not as good as the Crystal Pandas, although they are supposed to use the original formula. Yes, like I said, is produced by Red Dragon and has one of the best mid-bump. It's one of the best feeling mid-bump tactiles that I've ever encountered, because I tend not to use mid-bump tactiles like Browns and stuff because they it feels like they wobble if they have the center, the mid bump, which is why switches, like if I'm going to go tactile, I'm going to go for something like a firework or a cilantro, or my new favorite tactile, at least for the moment, are the new Saru. I have one around here somewhere, I thought. Anyway, the new Saru V2 HMX Divinity collab switch, where it has the bump at 0.1 millimeters into the press. And they so it's like almost like a linear. As a matter of fact, I brought him. I brought my Neo 65 to the Colorado Mech Meets meetup last weekend, and they were a big hit. A lot of people really enjoyed them, and I've sold a couple of people on getting some brand new tactiles for themselves. I have tried the MMD Holy Pandas. But I don't own any of the MMD Holy Pandas. And I wasn't using the Glorious Pandas, and so at the meetup, I passed them on to somebody else who might use them more. Because that's... if I'm given things, and I don't use them, I will give them away. Because I think it's nice, it's fair, you know, because I didn't pay anything for it, and so I should. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Ooh, look at us. They are fully clear, which was one of the other things I really liked about them, because I am a RGB enjoyer generally. I mean, current keyboard notwithstanding. But I like the glowy, I like the screens. I am kind of an anomaly with as a longer time keyboard enthusiast. It tends that as they move through the hobby, you kind of go through stages where you start off and maybe you like the foamy and the RGB and the knobs and screens and things like that. Yes, accent lighting is great. And then a lot of people in the hobby, as they move through, start to drift into getting more clacky, starting to lose the foams, going, hey, I don't really need RGB. Screens are stupid, are another thing that I've heard. Why use knobs when you can just hotkey? Just things like that. And but I never lost that joy, that wonder that comes from putting a little animated GIF on my keyboard, so that whenever I look down, because I look down a lot because I'm not a touch typist, I see that little animated GIF, or I see that RGB accent, and I smile, and I enjoy my typing experience just a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I love trying new stuff. I mean, new designs, new builds. I wish I could get more. Obviously, in today's economy, budget is a problem these days. Especially with work, cutting your salary by 30%, or my salary by 30%. I have tried some clacky switches, and the switches we're going to use today on the ASCII-F, the brand new EggYolks, they're kind of clacky. From what I hear, that hard masked plastic the coffee part of keyboards and coffee. I've been trying to decide if I like keyboards and coffee or coffee and keyboards more. This week, it's keyboards and coffee. Last week, it was coffee and keyboards. I guess I need to figure out which one I want, because if you're gonna try to make a brand, you should decide what that brand is gonna be called. And by you, I mean me. And by brand, I just mean what I'm going to call my stream. So what's your favorite clacky switch right now? Or switch in general? Clacky or non? Most people know what my favorite switch is. It is not really a clacky switch. It's also not tactile. I do like HMX switches, and my favorite HMX switch is in fact, or my favorite switch is in fact an HMX switch. I haven't tried the dirty pinks yet. I did get the caramel pudding V2s to try those, which are in my Margot, the one behind me with the glorious after party on it right there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yes, so just need 5 more. 5 more. And Cthulhu's. I did enjoy the Cthulhu's. My favorite switch, though, and the one you can't really get right now, Sadwich! Look at you showing up for me to Franken switch. That's right. I'm making actual Holy Pandas today. But we were just talking favorite switches. I'm excited. I've tried various versions of the Panda, but this will be the first time I've ever even typed on a keyboard with Holy Pandas on it. Oh, taking off supports. I need to print some keycaps. I wanted to print a set of PBS. Someone in the local community was getting out of the hobby and gave away basically a bunch of old school stuff. And in it, he had I don't know, was it him? They had a set of Inveer Pandas and a set of Holy True Halos. I'm like, oh, cool. So, and then I'm like, hey, I would love to build that on stream. Make a bunch of Holy Pandas. All right, so now we have 65. We have one extra, the first one I made. So, and so now we're gonna, luckily, for the next step, since they are 4-post, I can just pop them open, pop in the new stems, close them up, set them to the side. So we're actually going to move that out of the way. Don't lose everything. Two. Good. That's what I want. Now these are going to be stock for today. I'm not lubing or filming these because the instruction videos that I saw regarding, thanks for the follow, Venom, did not mention either of those things. Now granted, that video was years out of date, so who knows, and I might do it later. So for today's experiment, though, we're going old school. Or sort of old school. Oh, nice. I'll need to, once I have a little bit of desk space, I'll need to show you my battle station that I made. My cyber deck, almost, if you will, that I printed up. It's a Steam Deck in a 3D printed hardshell case with a Keychron K3 Pro in it, and I can get rid of some stuff pretty quickly. I'm gonna have to anyway, because I'm gonna build the or rebuild my ASCII-F with egg yolks. By the way, if you are a U.S. resident, continental U.S. resident, you can use !ticket to win a set of 70 HMX EggYolk switches. These are the new switches that use the two-part design. So the mast of the switch is a different plastic than the bottom housing of the switch, creating a unique sound signature. And we'll be looking at that in the ASCII-F today. Yeah, it's technically 99% complete. Actually, I don't need to count them because they will be all done. Here, let's actually move. Let's start cleaning up the desk a little. Well, right, and true halos. Thank you so much for the sub. Hey, look, it does a sub thing. I didn't even know that worked still. That is awesome. Heck yeah. I'll find that later. As long as I don't drop any of the springs. That's really the thing I don't want to lose. Which I just said I didn't want to lose any. Come here, you guys. All right. Oh. Did I send you my new project? I am, everybody, working on a brand new it definitely can be. And sadly, because I have diabetic neuropathy, I don't know it. So I just step on things and they hurt. But it's a different kind of hurt. And so, like, sometimes I will stick myself in the foot and not even know it for like a minute. Yes, and if you have any suggestions on how I can improve it. Now, some components don't work yet, but it'll be a place where you can put your inventory in and take pictures and then put it up for validation so that I can add it to the overall database of keyboards, switches, keycap sets, and then even if you're not you don't log in, you're not a member, I'm putting those links at the front so that you can, in a view only state, view all of the databases, because I don't want to put that behind a login wall, because I think everybody should have access to it, even if they don't. Of course, there'll be room for Ergo. I think Ergo is actually one of the options that are already in there when you're selecting if your preferences. I think Ergo is one of the options. I think, but those options will be changing. Actually, anything in it is going to be changing as I go through development. It's still early. Yeah. Don't put too much in there, because I don't know if I'll need to reset the databases before my final release or first release. I mean, the login wall is good because it's going to let you contain your own personal inventory. And you'll be able to, I have everything laid out. You can do either a list where you can just view all your stuff, or you can break it up into cards, and then you can drag and drop your switches onto your keyboard cards, and it will add it to your keyboard card. And then you can drag a different switch, or you can drag keycaps, or you can drag stabilizers, so that you don't have to actually put anything, like once you've got it entered. And there is an Excel spreadsheet that you can fill out, so that you don't need to just enter everything in on the website. So you just fill out the Excel spreadsheet with all your stuff, and then upload it, and it goes into the database, and then you can add your images. And then another thing is that you'll then be able to actually publish those to the build gallery so that other people can see it, like the builds themselves. Then there's a place for you or anyone in the world to put their keyboard meetups, their Discord groups, vendors, both good and bad. I'm thinking I'm going to add a now defunct group so that people know when companies go out of business or fold, or unfortunately exit scam is a thing. And then it is going to be all no, I'm actually building them. So basically the Holy Panda is a combination of the kale, yes, because Vala, exactly. Eventually I'm going to have news, and I'm still sad that I never got the Elfheim. So the Holy Panda, which is one of those iconic Franken switches, is a combination of the True Halo and made by Kale, and the Panda switch, or one of the variants of the Panda switch. In this case, this actually is one of the Panda, which is made by Invir and was released by Drop. And a keyboardist by the handle of Top Clack combined the stem from the True Halo into the housing with spring from the Panda switch, and that is where we get the iconic, now iconic, Holy Panda. And so that's what we're doing today. We're making a set of 60, well, technically 66 Holy Pandas, and then we are going to put them into the, if I can find it real quick, because I hadn't decided on that, the key cult. Well, that's right. It's all about the learn-ins. We're going to put it into a key cult 0. I don't have like one of the fancy key cults, so I can't do that, but I do have a key cult 0. The most reasonably priced of the key cults at around $200. Unfortunately, and it's available through Novel Keys. Unfortunately, supplies are limited at this point, because I don't think they're really making those anymore, because they're able to, you know, make the more expensive ones, and I don't understand. It just seems like giving a good low bar to entry for that. I mean, I guess it was expensive to produce all the various pieces, parts. And I got a few of them, but and like I was saying it earlier, I am not lubing or filming these because the instructional videos from the day did not have that. So we are building them the way they would have been built by an enthusiast back in 2019, 2020 time frame. My favorite switch is the HMX Lunar Stone. This is funnily, it is a well-known fact that my favorite switch is the HMX Lunar Stone. I have been trying some new switches. The new HMX Saru V2 by Divinity. It's a collab with Divinity. Is my new favorite tactile, and I'm still testing it. One problem that I've been having with it is that I've been getting, and I think it's the way that I type. Oh yeah, right? I have been splitting any spacebars I can because I found that I like the sound of the split spacebar more than the 7U, and then I like the 7U more than I like a 6.25. I do. Actually, I have for a little while. My previous favorite was because once I discovered the D-bump tactile, that was kind of a changer for me. Because the D-bump, like on the cilantro, the firecracker, and the ice lotus, I don't have any firecrackers yet. I still want to try some firecrackers, and maybe I'll ask DY if he has any that I could use, because he's the one who sent me the egg yolks and sent me some extras to give away. It is easier to, well, I have to balance wires less since I use Paigu, and recently I've been experimenting obviously with 4 wraps, which is great. Those are great stabs if you can get them. And also I finally got a set of the Designer Studio PCB mount adaptive stabilizers. They're really good and available and not that expensive. What are you typing on? Are you typing on the sunset? Do you still have the sunset? So tactiles are really good if you are for office typing. And that's right. That's one of my southern idioms, is I say good for. What's it good for? Because of the feedback. Oh. I don't even know that switch. I'm guessing it's a tactile though, because I know you do love the tactile. Make sure you face your switches in the right direction, because if you don't, you will ruin your switch. I have ruined many a switch in my day because of that. You accidentally spin it in your hand. Excuse me. It was this itchy all of a sudden. The third switch that I have to look at today is another HMX switch collab, and that is the OwLabs London Fog V2s. And they seem really nice. Maybe a bit loud, but they're linear. take a drink. It's time for coffee, because this is coffee and keyboards, or keyboards and coffee. I'm trying to decide. If anybody has an opinion, which is better, keyboards and coffee, or coffee and keyboards? Coffee and keyboards. Would be if it's if we go in alphabetical order. But keyboards and coffee kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit better. Keyboards and coffee? Well, I mean, you don't pour one into the other because you can't pour a keyboard into coffee. That's just weird. You think keyboards and coffee rolls off the tongue a little bit better? I was also thinking that maybe keyboards should get top billing. Since there's a lot more keyboards in my stream than coffee, like basically I mention what coffee I'm drinking today, and then I occasionally actually drink said coffee. You should make a liquid keyboard. I mean, that would go over like gangbusters. You could kind of. So I was just thinking, if you got one of those laser table coffees or keyboards where it projects it, you could then put liquid on your desk and type in it. So I just showed me. That'll learn me. I don't know what that means. What does on-screen collaboration mean? I didn't even know that was a thing that I could have. Then yes. Then you could be typing on coffee. Then it would be literally coffee and keyboards. Coffee with keyboards? Keyboards with coffee. Or I could just cut out the and altogether and it would be coffee keyboards. I just put this. No, I didn't. Okay. I did start off with the coffee I'm drinking. As a matter of fact, I brought it up. So this is the Geek Grind Molten Moonrise coffee that I'm drinking today. It is a molten chocolate mocha flavored coffee. Geek Grind is a small business, small woman-owned business that collaborates with coffee, like specific coffee growers in Colombia. So you'll also get some single source coffee, which we've had on a previous stream. What I really need to do is reach out to Jay over at prototypist and see if he'll send me coffee for coffee and keyboards. Because there's a collab. Because he makes coffee. Not, but he is in England, so that could be more difficult. But maybe. I could set up a dedicated coffee can. I can't even fit a, like, there's the wall behind me. I can't even fit a over-the-shoulder cam anywhere yet. I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of that. I actually have a Canon 2000D camera that I am not using because I have no way or where to mount it. It is too heavy for my little overhead gantry thing right here that I have my E-Meet on. E-Meet is what I use for both of my cameras right now, so they are actually just webcams. Not like those super professional people like you know, Alex and stuff. Well, he's a camera person. He's like a photographer. So it makes sense that he would have fancy cameras. But most people have actual cameras connected. But my gantry would just collapse. By the way, I like this Gateron, except for this part. Broke. Like a couple of weeks in. I tried to glue it. Obviously, it didn't stay. So as long as you don't care about this part, which I would recommend just taking off, I didn't bother because I've already ruined it. I enjoy this part, but I also really enjoy the key, the switch removal part. I got that at, I actually bought that from Gateron at CES. Why did I set that down? Come on, the Adept, lock in. Let's get this done. Although you really can just call me Chris. Not like call me Chris. She's got her own brand and she's awesome. But she's Chris with a KR. I'm a CHR. This is not a mystery because my YouTube channel is Chris James 024. I have not. As a matter of fact, I have I had forgotten to clean out one of my resin printers. And so I left resin in the reservoir and it eventually leaked and I have to clean that entire thing with alcohol and I've been putting it off. But I haven't used my other one either. As a matter of fact, right now, out of 7 3D printers, only one is working. I have 2 A1s now. One works with the AMS module. One is had blobbed, and I've been trying to get the blob out for like a year. It was the Saturn 8K, the Elegoo. Now I have my other one, which is a Creality that is clean and I could use it. Yeah, no, still. I ended up buying basically that entire module like every piece except for the PCBs. But the screws are still behind the blob, so I've been unable to remove the parts that are there. We've tried melting, we've tried cutting. I don't want to cut into the bar, so yeah. Freya is going to be trying to to work on it some more, and I think we're going to try drilling down to where the screws are, because we have replacement screws. If I can, I just need to get that part off. I've already taken out the PCBs. I just need to get that part off and install the new everything, because I bought a new everything for it. And then we'll have that one working. The K1 has an extruder problem, and I have a new extruder that I need to install. My vent setup is putting it as far away from humans and pets as possible. And yeah, I have it in the basement with the vent to the outside with a filtration system. You know, it's just me being lazy about it, and it just... I need a large format printer so that I can... In my large format printer, which was the Cobra Plus, its extruder is also not working properly, but you can't really get parts for the Cobra Plus anymore. So that's sucky. So I need a new one. I want to get the A1L, but I can't buy anything right now because my work sucks. Another thing to do is to use plant-based resins. They are less toxic. We only use plant-based resins for that reason. That is not to say they are non-toxic. Oh, I would absolutely get an A1L. Or the H2S, so I could have an enclosure. Even though the H2S is 10 millimeters smaller than the K2, I would probably get a bamboo over a Creality. Come on, you. Come apart. Not exploding everywhere. There we go. All right. We're in the home stretch, everybody. Right? I wish my, well, I say I wish my K1 would work. I wish my K1 would just work without me having to actually fix it. Because again, it's just me being lazy. I just got to do the work. And I say it's part of me, it's me being lazy. Part of it has to do with the fact that fixing things, yeah, I mean, I try to be calm. Fixing things at this stage on printers and my PCs really ends up hurting my back. And that is a thing. It's me just being lazy and old. But I appreciate that, man. I like hearing that. I'm relaxing. But you know, you should talk. I mean, I imagine that you've already talked to Bullets about it. He has set up some good stuff for his extraction in his workshop. All right, let's get some stems out of the way. We will take our pandas and put them off to the side. I will be doing the rest of these off camera later, possibly tonight, who knows, depends I guess on how this goes, and if I want to build a bigger keyboard with them. Okay, you go off onto the side. We'll need you in a second, so don't go too far. And here we go. 66 original OG Holy Pandas. They feel nice. Let's grab a... All right, I will be right back. Okay. All right. So maybe I lied a little. And we will not be doing the key cult. since you're here, why don't we do the mode? So I had gotten this mode from Sandwich, so it's kind of fitting that we use it while she's here. Yep, it absolutely is. I hope you think I've been taking good care of it. I think so. I don't remember what switches we have in here, but we'll find out in a second. Okay, so we have lunar stones in here. Or sorry, lunar stones, cosmic purples. These are HMX cosmic purples. So we will go ahead and... Did I bring it up? I did not. Oh, jeez Louise. All right, I'll be back in 1 second. Another drink. You remember when you asked earlier if you step on it like a Lego? I just did. And I managed to step on it pin side down, so it stuck into my foot. Like literally stuck into my foot. Okay. So this has installed the actual copper plate. Jeez Louise, that hurt. Well, if you get the cosmic purples, I will give you a little pointer. Do not put them into boards that you change switches out on frequently, because I found that the cosmic purples, more than most any other switch I own, their stems have loosened up. So, funny story. All right. DY from Unikeys actually sent this to me in my... He had sent me some switches to take a look at not terribly long ago. And I found out that he actually doesn't sell these on his website. They were included with a purchase. And so I'm like hyping it up for everybody. Hey, Toe Popper, thanks for the follow. And I'm trying to remember, because Mango has one that she actually got from somewhere that actually has them. Oh, okay, you can get them from... Oh, well, that's fine. That's fine, then. Well, I was a little sad because I like helping smaller businesses like Unikeys and stuff like that. Yep, that's the kind of person I am. I can just reach in there and just... No. No, this is the Gateron. Again, I got it in January. By February, the keycap portion had broken, but the switch puller option is very nice. I do enjoy it. So as long as you don't mind the fact that you're probably going to break that plastic. And I suspect that I did it by grabbing it too far at the top. Then you're fine. You did miss the portion where we took apart 66 pandas and 66 true halos, and we made OG Holy Pandas. We are now taking the switches out of the mode envoy with a copper plate and full foams, so we're clear, and we are going to build it with the Holy Pandas. So this is still just the first portion of the day. If you are in the continental US, you can use... I still have extras. If you want me to take one apart and build one more, I would not mind. Taking apart the true halos are kind of a pain in the tuchus because I couldn't find my Kale wing opener. And so I have to use a flathead screwdriver, but how much are they going for? And that's fine. Oh, well, that's not too bad. So like I was saying, you can use exclamation point ticket to, if you are in the continental US and you want to pay shipping, to win 70 HMX EggYolks, courtesy of Unikeys, who sent it to me. And we'll be looking at the EggYolks next. We'll be rebuilding the ASCII-F with no, it should be going the whole stream. I started at the beginning of the stream and I'll end it when we're wrapping up. It'll be the last thing that we do. We'll pick a winner, and as long as you're still here, you can win. You can lurk. You just gotta let me know at the end of the stream that you right here. By the way, I'm kind of digging the Holy Pandas with the copper plate. I think that's a good color match. I love it. Check pins. Right? I love a good I love a good color match switch to keycap / case. Like the Athena. Oh my gosh. I've got Wing Tree 277s in it. So that's a good color match. I love that. And they sound good too. Because, you know, if you don't want to type on it, it doesn't serve its purpose. I would say probably for the money, I would go with the Union Well switches. I think they're the best HE switch out there right now. As far as feel, sound, and price. Because, you know, some people will tell you that the UFO switches are the best that you can get. And they might be. But if you're paying $1.50 per switch, yeah, they're not the best. The Wuche Studio Ocean Whisper switches, also really nice switch, but again, they're much more expensive. Geon Raws, the Union Well. I think the Union Well switch is the best switch you can get for Hall effect right now. They have the best combination of price to sound to feel. Unless you want that taupe ray feel. So, you know, there's the XVX, which I haven't tried. There's the Haimu Moonlights. And then, of course, the reds. Well, I won't pay $1 a switch. The EggYolk switches are probably the upper level of what I would be willing to pay generally for a switch. And that is 42 cents a switch. Although by using the Adept at checkout at Unikeys, you can save 7%. Right? You know, what I also thought sounded very much like a good silence taupe ray was the Epo Maker sea salt silence. But the but the reds, the XVX, and the High Moon Moonlights are actually rubber domes with Hall effect. So similar to the navies, which are actually a taupe ray, which I have in my agar. I made exactly enough switches. Yay! And I think we go upside down from here. Now, if they start releasing, yeah, I kind of need it too. Although I'm starting to think micro might be the way. Did you see the new micro? Patty built it last night on her stream. The only problem with the micro is that it's KBD fans. It is a Alice style has a fun bunny motif. The agar is like the regular agar is like 135. I'm not sure what the micro is. Alan, do you know how much you paid for the micro? Oh, like 172? Which isn't bad. I mean, frankly, the agar itself, the original agar, punches way above its price rate. That finish on my agar, the aluminum finish and the polycarbonate finish, because I have both. Oh, yeah, look at that. I wonder what's going on. Hold on, let's see. That is weird. I swear this never happens. Oh, that's me. So it's not the camera. Oh. It's things like the chat box. I can get rid of all that stuff. Depends if the channel still works. The UTF logo. Alert boxes are broken. Okay. Yeah, we'll get rid of all that stuff for now. Who cares? You know if you sub. Which, you know. I accept all Amazon Prime subs because we love the Bezos bucks over here. And Thanks for the update. When I look up, I only look over here because that's where you guys are. So I'm not actually looking directly ahead, which is where my main screen shows up. Sadly, I also don't look over here that much, which is where the YouTube stream chat is. So. Okay. We now have a keyboard built with the original Holy Pandas. Let's go ahead and pause the music and we're going to give this a sound test. So this is the Mode Envoy with OG Holy Pandas and Osume Winterglow Eve keycaps. Well, it is certainly really different. Okay. Here, I'll pull it a little bit closer. So this is me typing and talking at the same time. I think it's not super loud. But I mean, it's a mellow sound. It's very interesting. This is very different from the Panda switches that I've tried in the past, the MMD and the Glorious. Even the Crystal Pandas that I talked about earlier. This, at least from my initial typing here, do not suffer from the same, they don't suffer from the same problem that I have with most mid-bump tactiles, to where they don't feel like a lot of mid-bump tactiles that I use or have used, new ones, old ones, just anything, even HMX, they feel like they wobble to me. Like they have this wobble feeling, and I think it's because of where the bump is. This does not have that. It feels really good. We didn't lube them, but they don't feel scratchy at all. Yeah, it's supposed to pick up, like I have it set up so that it picks up the keyboard sounds, because I want everybody to be able to hear it, because sound is very important to me when it comes to switches and keyboards in general. It's one of those things that draws me in. I guess the stabilized keys do sound a little scratchy, but not in a bad way. No, I think there's a reason why the Holy Pandas became such a ubiquitous switch. Yeah, I like it. We'll put this away and take a look at our next switch. Thank you for joining me on my Holy Panda journey. And I'll keep y'all updated with how it moves forward, because I think it will. I have to find the right keyboard that I want to have it on. Right now, I'm not finished. We're just getting started. Oh, so this is the ASCII-F. I currently have it built out with the brand new Mode Envoy Cacao. Keycaps. And no, as a matter of fact, we haven't even looked at either of the brand new switches. We may not get to the OwLabs, in which case we'll do those in a future one. Currently, this has a very mellow switch on it, and this is the B-Sun Milk Tea Siam switches. Now, the problem with the milk tea and with most, yeah, I love it. If you have not seen it, this is just the simple, don't mind my fingerprints. This is just the simple aluminum bottom. And then the side profile, which is very nice with the cherry lip. It's here. Focus, come on, focus. Focus. There we go. Okay. And the aluminum peeks through right here. It is such a lovely board. So like I was saying, Milk Tea Siams. We'll actually be replacing the Milk Tea Siams in here today with the... Where did I put you? That's what I get for moving things around right before I start. Ah, here we go. These are the new HMX EggYolks. So they are unique in that they have a different plastic used in the mast of the bottom housing than it does in the top or bottom or stem. It's a harder plastic, which they weren't able to use previously because it would not work well as a switch with the housing. Yes, exactly. I thought that this was such a good match. And then actually, and these want to come out automatically, which happens with plastic plates. But the Milk Tea Siams also matched the case and keycaps a little bit. You can kind of see it there. So this we will be replacing our switches row by row because this is a top mount and it tends to, the plate tends to shift around. It's top mounted to the PCB. So I could remove all the switches, but it can be problematic and just a hassle. Yes, the very first time I built this, I built it plateless with hot swap. Because that's a thing too. As a matter of fact, a lot of people were getting the what is it? What are they called? Canon Keys has this switch that essentially it clips in so that you can use it hot swap plateless. Without having it come out at all or shift or whatever. If you hear laughing in the background, it means Freya's up. She's enjoying her coffee as well.
Sorry.
You don't have to apologize. I was just letting everybody know that there's not like a maniac in here. I mean, besides me, I'm a maniac. Yeah, she does. So these match it less. It's still not a bad match. Sadwitch says hi. Freya. Sadwitch says hi.
Hi.
If you didn't hear that, she said hi back.
Hi to the kitties too.
She also said hi to your kitties. She said she will pass it along. Yes. So far, we have been doing all right. And Kieran has not been being a jerk to Kaylee this morning, so that's good. Hopefully we can keep it that way. Okay, cool. I will show it to her when I get it. Ooh, that's gonna be good stuff. Fiona used to do that sometimes. And then for the short amount of time that we had Rory, he would do the same thing. As a matter of fact, I have a picture of him doing that. Okay, we'll just empty those out, because why not? Although I guess I should leave this out here so you all can see the glory that is Unikeys, since they were kind enough to send these out to me, and the ones that we'll be giving away. Also, if you're in the Denver area at the end of July, there is a meetup north of Denver in Erie, Colorado. I'll have 2 more packs of these, of 70, that we'll be giving away at that meetup. So they were very generous. I'm passing that generosity on to you guys. Although I'm keeping these for myself. So after the stream today, we're going to go see Supergirl. Because I say, fuck those people who are trying to make that movie into a bomb. I mean, they've already said it is a bomb, and I guess maybe, but I haven't been going to movies recently because, you know, they're very expensive, but I'll do it for this because it looks like a good film. She looks like a good Supergirl, even if it's kind of almost a hot take. It's got Aquaman in it. I mean, Lobo in it. Yeah, I mean, everything I've seen that I would trust says that it was a good film. But I mean, it's like the media and, you know, the male establishment are basically, and it's something that they've done with like pretty much every movie where you have a female superhero lead. The only one they weren't able to do that to is Wonder Woman. But they were able to do it to the second Wonder Woman film. Of course, I'm sure I would enjoy it regardless. You absolutely should. I would be awful at it, but I would love to try one. I think Freya would enjoy it more, since she likes the split. Well, she likes it more than me. I won't say that I dislike a split. I really, really still want to get a QK Duo. I do like dual track. Well, I find trackballs are not as precise as mice, at least for me. I find that my thumb does not have that much manual dexterity. Problem is that even if I got it, I don't know how much I would actually use it. It's a keyboard I want because I love the idea of it. Index and middle finger. Ooh, that might actually be a lot better. I mean, obviously there's still going to be a learning curve, and yeah, but again, you enjoy the split. And maybe there's some times where you want to split that is that big, because I know that your splits tend towards the smaller side. That's what she said. Oh. Not really. I imagine you have a poster of the banana splits on your wall, but and for those of you who have no idea what I just said, go look it up. It's an old a 1970s thing. Kid show. Because I'm old. Oh, okay. Like one that you printed, or is it? Which one is it? Okay. Shoot with your question. By the way, sadly, since I had to kill the chat window, if you're watching this after the fact, I'm just talking out into the ether. Well, I heard that using a car wrap is hard. but I think it was mainly because it was trying to avoid bubbles. Not the chimp, like actual bubbles. For those of you who don't know who Bubbles the chimp is, also Google that. But, I mean, how do you think it compares? Hey, what's going on? Oh. Good morning. Speaking of which, coffee's getting a little cold, but gotta have the coffee for the keyboards and coffee. Or coffee and keyboards. We're still trying to decide. I'm workshopping it. That's a thing, right? And last bunch. Yeah, send me a picture. Or put it into Stupid Bullets Tech. I'll see it there. Unless you didn't want to share with the entire class. This bottom row. Always hard. And one to grow on. The reason why this plate has so many cutouts for what essentially in this particular case is a static bottom row is because the solder plate has all the choice. As opposed to this guy, by the way, the PCB on this thing supports everything. You can split your left shift, your backspace, ISO enter, your entire bottom row is all this. It was great. I love this. It's so good. All right, but now we are looking at the egg yolks. That's these guys here. For those of you who have not seen or were not here at the beginning, it uses an S1 plastic for the mast and a different, I think it's PA66 for the bottom housing, and then a different for the top housing, and then yet another one for the stem. So taking a look at that, if it will come up. Let's see. We're going to add a new source, window capture, add source, new source, add source. Buried my window. Shrink this down. Too much. All right, so here you go. Here's the actual specs. So the top housing is polycarbonate. The stem is M2, which is essentially strengthened polypropylene, or PP. We love PP. Then the bottom housing is PA66 with the S1 mast. An operating force of 43 grams, which is very much in my sweet spot. Single stage 22 millimeter spring. Total travel is 3.6 millimeters, so kind of a short travel, which means that it's a long pole, and the pre-travel is a standard 2 millimeters. Let's go ahead and get rid of that, and we'll do a sound test now. Pause our music. So here are the egg yolks on the ASCII-F with mode cacao keycaps. And here we go. So it's very much on the higher end of the pitch, but it has that HMX smooth, firm bottom out. And I think it works with this particular keyboard, which is a top mount. And I think if this sound appeals to you, which, you know, it's high-pitched but solid, I would say. Spacebar is really nice, though. I kind of dig that. All right. What do y'all think of that? And again, if you are watching and you are in the continental US, go ahead and hit ! ticket to enter in to win 70 of these. You must pay shipping. But we'll draw that at the end of the stream. So, very, very fun. I love because keyboards are therapeutic. Let's see. I think we were gonna go with this. I don't know what let's see, what switches do I have in here right now? Ah, my favorite switches. So this will be a head-to-head. These are the Lunar Stone switches in my Polygon 7 with GMK Stargaze on it. So these are my favorite switches, by the way. But for today, we will be taking a look at, let's pull off my these and set them to the side. The last switches we're looking at today are these. These are the OwLabs London Fog V2s. These, I'm not sure who made the original London Fogs, but these were made in a collaboration with HMX, good old pals at HMX. So let's try them real quick. This is the lunar stones. So we have our lunar stones, and then our London fogs. A little bit deeper. These might be really nice. About the same level of loudness, a little deeper. It'll be interesting to see how it stacks up. When rebuilding the Polygon 7, couple of caveats. You should always do the macro rows first. In my case, I use my macro rows to give me a couple of function keys, which I don't use really. And then use this side to give me my full navigation cluster. When I say full, I mean full for me. Just as a reminder. Oh, you can only enter in once. Sorry. But if you subscribe, you get a little bit better chance of winning. Let me take a look, because I can see who's entered. You are entered. Currently, there are 4 people entered into the giveaway. Sadwich, I did notice that you were not entered, but you know, if you don't think you'll use them, I agree with not entering. Okay. While I don't have this in top mount, this is one of the few keyboards where top mount and ball catch actually make sense. Yes, you did when you first joined the stream. Because you can use these 2 rows to push off from, you can actually do a top mount with a ball catch and not have to worry that you will not be able to actually open it again. Because believe you me, I have run into this. What was the worst one? Oh, the RD75 Pro. For stream, I tried to put that into top mount just to see, and yeah, that was bad. And then using them individually? I don't know. Sheer madness, I guess. Again, this is gasket mounted at the PCB level, so you don't necessarily have to do this row by row. I do, unless you're doing it, unless you have it in top mount, because it's top mount by the plate, not top mount by the PCB. But since I have it in barbell gasket, I could. I just choose not to. We'll go with that. This muted green should not interfere with our RGB too much, but there is no light spreader, so the RGB will be muted. If you're looking for great RGB from HMX, might I suggest the HMX CHU switch, which is a fantastic switch. Not my favorite, obviously, because we already mentioned what that is, but it's a really good switch. It's a little bit higher pitched than the Lunar Stone, whereas this is going a little bit deeper. In the US, these are sold by Divinity. Reminder, if you are purchasing, feel free to use my beacons and get my affiliate links. Ooh, remote rally. Okay. Now let's do this in the fast way. And we'll do both rows. Oh, great, because I already did those two keys. We'll do these two, and then we'll do the bottom two. Yes, and the Yogurt S is an exceptional switch. I haven't tried or seen the Meteor switches yet, so that's interesting. The London Fogs I picked up during Divinity's 6-year anniversary sale. Happy little keys. And my hair went kind of the opposite direction from Bob Ross's, though. Oh, this is long. Probably by next week, for Keyboards and Coffee, I'll be once again shaved down. And the reason I put in a couple of these switches over on this side when I'm working my way right to left is because of the plastic plates that I use. It helps balance things out a little bit. Especially if you have like a PP plate with a lot of flex cuts in it. Oh my gosh. It's so hard to put some of those switches in. So I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, but I always wonder why, Divinity, why do you sell your switches in packs of 18? It seems like such an odd number. Freya said it too the other day when I brought that up. All right, last 2 rows. Let's knock these out. If you are using this for keycap puller, always be careful of your move in from the side. Here, let me show you. Move in from the side to help try to avoid scratching your finish, because that is a thing, especially with these sharp corners. And if you're especially concerned, it may make sense not to use this on the edges and just use a regular keycap, especially if you have one that's not broken like mine that has the plastic, because then it's less likely to scratch your finish. Obviously, if you're coming in on the top row, you want to come in at an angle like that to try to avoid scratching your finish. Sadly, scratching the finish for me for this keyboard has already, that ship has already sailed. There is one little right here, right there. It's glaring. All right, you go off on the side, as can you, because hey, you guys, we are almost done with this rebuild. These are the Paigu or Wuche Studio Stupid Stabs. They have silicone inserts to make them easier for you to not have stabilizer rattle. I highly recommend them. The 4 wraps, which are the newest of this type, but very hard to come by because they're new and have some additional non-rattly features that are supposed to make it. It's basically, if I'm remembering correctly, the 4 wraps are kind of a combination. It's kind of what I always have said would be awesome, like a mashup of the Designer Studio adaptive stabilizers and the Paigu stabilizers, where it has silicone inserts, but it also has a little tab at the bottom to keep the wire from moving around. And 3 to grow on. Is that a thing? No, it's not a thing. 2 to grow on? No. It's still not quite right. 1 to grow on. That makes sense. You guys, you want to be a part of the Polygon 7, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, I talked to my keycaps, so and done and done. Let us go take a look at the specs of this switch real quick. So the OwLabs London Fog V2 switches also have the polycarbonate top housing, but the bottom housing is a modified P1 and the stem is a modified palm. It also has the actuation point of 43 grams, again putting it in that sweet spot, but the bottom out force is only 49 grams as opposed to 50, so that's cool. So it's a little weaker of a spring. See, I don't like saying that because that implies that it is in any way inferior, which it's not. It has a pre-travel of 1.9 millimeters, so it's actually a bit faster on the draw than the EggYolks, and has a total travel of 3.5, putting it squarely in that long pole area. Also making it a little bit shorter. So the pre-travel and the total travel are 0.1 millimeters shorter than the EggYolks. We will now go ahead and pause the music and give us a typing test. So this is the Polygon 7 with the OwLabs HMX Collab London Fog V2 switches and GMK Stargaze keycaps. you can hear a little bit of the difference in the sound. That's because these are smaller PCBs that are isolated, and so you're going to get kind of that deeper sound over here, as opposed to your middle over here, your top row. It's going to be a little bit different. Overall, I think that these are pretty, yeah. I love the Polygon 7. It's such a good board. And yeah, these work well in it. I think they're going to be a fine addition to my collection. I might end up getting even more of these. And you know, oh, the ASCII-F here. Let's move some of this stuff. We'll put the Athena away. And we'll come back to you, Athena. Well, probably not today. But I love my Athena. I can't wait to do my arts and crafts project on it. And then we'll move. I need to actually type right now, so let's bring the ASCII-F back out so that you can hear how it ended up toe hopper. And then we can compare the two. And of course, we do have to bring back our last friendly keyboard for one last go, and this is the Mode Envoy that we installed our freshly minted OG Holy Pandas in. So the move you behind, make it easier for me to type. So here are the EggYolks on the ASCII-F. Yeah, I think it really works on this board. It's a bit higher pitched than I normally go for, but the ASCII-F is kind of an anomaly in my collection, being top mount. I only have one or two other top mount boards. It's a foamless board. Yeah. And then these are the Holy Pandas. So I mean, as far as I know, these switches were dry. They are the stock configuration. There's no extra lube in any of these. And they are just out of the box exactly the way they came. These obviously out of the boxes and then combined into the switch. So I don't know which one y'all like best. And again, these, part of it is that tactile feel, which for a mid-bump tactile switch is probably the best feeling mid-bump tactile switch that I've ever encountered. It doesn't feel wobbly, it just feels good. So I don't know if it's better than the Saru, which is my new favorite tactile switch, but it's definitely up there. But overall, that's it. Except for the coffee. I have finished my coffee now, and we have finished 3 boards. Does anybody have any questions? Otherwise, we'll get to the giveaway. Oh, and which is good that I waited until we got back. So I've now finished my coffee. I've now finished 3 keyboards, and we're going to do a drawing to give away draw a winner. Toe Popper, you won. So go ahead and message me. I am the Adept on Discord. You can message me there. You can message me here. Discord is better. We'll get the information and I'll get these shipped out to you. We have a whole brand new pack straight from Divinity. You too can try out your own egg yolks. Let me know how you like them, because I love hearing what other people think of the switches, of any switches really, because again, switches are probably one of the things I like best. I like experimenting with switches, which is why I was very excited to be able to have this opportunity to build and test the original Holy Pandas. And we are, yeah, so just message me on Discord, and I think I agree. I think all of the keyboards look, sound, and feel pretty. I think it's just the Adept on Discord. But it's spelled the same, Theadept. Like I said, if you can't reach me on there, just okay. If you can't reach me on there, just message me on here. It's just I spend less time on Twitch. So I'll keep an eye out. But that is today's stream. Next week, I don't know what we're looking at, but we will be looking at something. I have a couple of boards to try out. I also have a new video dropping for my review of the EPO Maker HE75 V2 TMR Actually, that just dropped right before stream. I am in Mango server. That is correct. I will post a message in her server. If I can plug into it, if I had a keyboard. I posted in the Manguito only channel. I think you're in that. If you're not, that would be unusual. So you should be able to follow me there. Hey, look, there you are. Quick wave. All right. Adding a new friend because I like friends. And yeah, let's see who's streaming. Is anybody streaming? There is nobody streaming. I'm sure Mango will be on later. But that is my stream for today. Everybody who joined me, thanks for joining me. I always enjoy chatting with people. And you guys are great. And congratulations, Toe Popper, on winning the Switches. I think I'm just going to end it then. So everybody have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Sunday. And till next week,